Hi, I'm Kim Norland with Committed to Greatness, and I'm here with my co-host today, Shelly Day.
Hello.
CJ Wiggins is out today doing a little bit of work, so we're going to be taking over the show tonight. So how are you doing, Shelly?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah,
You're all
so
festive.
yeah, I know. I decorated the back, right?
Yeah.
And I know it kind of should be concentrating on Thanksgiving first, and I am thankful for a lot, but I really like Christmas.
Well, yeah.
It's over.
I was at the store and there are no Thanksgiving decorations.
Yeah,
So we
there's
have to
really
kind of
not.
skip the
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, there's really not a lot out there, is there?
We have lots of hand turkeys upstairs.
Yeah. Those are easy to make.
Right.
They're not red. Well, they're just not as pretty.
Yeah.
So how's your weekend fitness gone for you?
Um, so I started, since I have a 20-pound weight limit right now, I've
Tell,
been
tell
trying to figure
everybody
out new things. I'm allowed to treadmill
okay.
as much
Okay.
as I want.
Tell everybody why you have a 20-pound weight limit.
So when you get hernia number 3,
Yeah.
you get a great big piece of mesh stapled to the inside of your abs, and it sucks.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Right? It's like almost 5 by 7. Plus, I have 7 incisions. So,
Mhm. So
uh,
how come you have had 3 hernias? Like, is there something that has caused all these to happen?
they're all around my belly button, and that's a naturally weak area. It's like a congenital weak area.
Mhm.
But then having twins, all those abdominal muscles totally separated
Okay.
and left me weaker than anybody else, really. So, lucky me. But I
Oh,
have 2 healthy babies, whatever.
yeah. So you had your first hernia how many years ago?
After I had them at my checkup at the doctor, I was like, why am I an outie and my belly button is kind of to the left? And she said, oh, that's a hernia.
Oh boy. Did it hurt?
Okay.
Did it hurt at all, or you just kind of felt a little weird?
So, like, it didn't bother me for probably 3 years.
Okay.
And then when it did, it got like red and was hurting a lot. So we fixed that one, then another one, and then I had the last one operated on in May
Mm-hmm.
and got another one almost right away. So
Wow.
yeah.
Was there a reason why you got it, the last one, or just
I don't, everybody's saying, you're lifting, you're lifting. I was not lifting heavy. I was not lifting even half what I was when I got the one that I got fixed in May. So I don't know. I started feeling it, and right away I went to the doctor and he said, no, no, no. I said, no, right here. And he goes,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you're right. But I
Wow.
can't believe it. So
Mm.
he
So
said,
what
well,
has
you
that
win the
done?
prize this time.
What has that done for your workouts? And
So I've learned to get kind of creative this time. Like last time I talked the doctor down a little.
mhm.
Um, Instead of going for 6 weeks, I went 4.
Okay.
But this time he's making me go the full 6. And
Yeah.
I'm in a lot more pain this time because last time I had 1 incision and a little tiny piece of mesh. Now I have a great big piece of mesh, a bunch of staples, and 7 incisions.
Oh, wow.
And all the nerves have been hit. So I've got pain in my ribs and like everywhere.
Mm.
So, so I've got to go the full 6 weeks, 20 pounds. He said, you can work out all you want. And I said, how can I work out if I can't lift more than 20 pounds?
Yeah.
We're not speaking the same language.
You're definitely not going to be doing any squats.
Right, right. I can't even lower
Right.
down all the way.
Yeah.
So even like just body weight, I can't even lower down because it starts to put pressure on my lower incisions.
So where exactly is it in your stomach?
So I have a cut here,
Okay.
2 here, 2 here, 1 here, and then 1 long one across my belly button.
Mm.
And the mesh is about like this on the inside of my abs, stapled all around.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That sounds like it.
So aren't you jealous?
Yeah. And that's actually pretty common, I think, isn't it? To get a hernia.
To get one,
To get one, but
maybe
it's not
2.
so common coming for 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think at this point I would be following the doctor's orders and
Right, right.
making sure that you get enough rest and don't.
Well, and like I can't take pain medicine, so it's just kind of suck it up.
Wow. Why can't
Right.
you take pain medicine?
I'm allergic.
Allergic? Okay.
They gave it to me after my surgery, after I said I can't take it.
Yeah.
And I ended up there 3 days because I was vomiting from the pain medicine
Wow.
on top of all the stuff that they were giving me to not vomit.
Mm.
I just really can't take it. Like when I say that, I mean, don't give it to me.
Not seeing it.
Right.
Oh, boy,
The
that's
nurse came in the next morning after they gave me so much stuff. It knocked me out for the night. And she went to put pain medicine in my IV, and I grabbed it and told her, no, we are not doing that.
Mm.
And she said, well, I have to tell the doctor you're refusing. And I said, you tell him whatever you want. I'm not taking it.
Wow, you're a tough cookie because I don't know
I
that.
imagine staples, fresh wounds, and vomiting.
Yeah. Well,
No.
that's true. I could be doing that now.
Like every time my stomach would contract, I was just crying because it hurt so bad.
So did they give you any kind of anything to help with the pain or because you can't take the medicine?
Well, I can take like Tylenol and Advil. So they gave me that reluctantly, but that was all I would take. So, and they gave me lots of heparin while I was there. I still have, you see the bruise on the back of my arm?
Let me see. I'm going to move this a little
I
bit.
don't know where, I think it's over here.
Yep.
That's from the last heparin shot I got 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
She hit me right in the vein. So,
and how many weeks has it been now?
let's see, 3 weeks today.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you got 3 more weeks before you can hit the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been walking, which was actually harder than I thought.
Okay.
I'm like a grandma. And while it was warm, I got out and walked at like our local parks in the woods and stuff like that. That was really nice. Since I don't usually get time to do that.
Yeah. See, if you're like me, I'd be like, and I know you are. I'd be like counting down the days. I'd be like, okay, I got 2 weeks left.
I'm like, okay, I've got 20 pounds. I could do single arm decent with 20 pounds.
Yeah, but you can't.
So I totally am.
Yeah, bending and stuff like that. So that's the hard part. And for me, I love to do legs. And let's face it, anything really with legs besides like leg lifts, stuff like that, you're going to do, the things that you really want to do are squats, dead, things like that. It's really hard because
I keep trying and I'm like, no.
and you have to listen to yourself. And
I can do single leg deadlifts.
Sure.
Which is something that's really challenging for me anyway.
That would be very risky.
I'm okay with it. Like I just stand next to something in case I lose my balance, but it's something that I struggle with anyway. So it's giving me time to work on that. I'm not lifting anything. I'm just bending and standing. So.
Well, you could do things like leg extensions and curls perhaps.
Yeah, I was going to try that, but I'm afraid that I'll tense my core. So yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be able to go heavy. Just go.
No.
That's the hard part.
And then I just am frustrated because I'm not moving anything and I have to do like 100 million reps. So
I need to put you through a standing leg routine. That's
right. I found a decent glute one that I can do. It's like bridging and stuff. So I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. And I've posted some videos of some leg workouts on my YouTube channel, just like, real basic stuff like standing and just lifting adductors.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do some glute stuff. You can sit in your chair and do leg extensions with an ankle.
Right. I've been walking up and down the steps.
Yeah. Yeah. You can do calf raises on the steps. Things like that. So you can definitely work and you can. It's just.
And I'm doing some kettlebells. I've never done kettlebells. So I'm doing some of that.
Yeah. That's kind of risky to me, I think.
I don't know. I'm like, I'm not over 20 pounds. I was so frustrated. They came in the mail. I found them real cheap online. They came in the mail. And because more than one together was over 20 pounds, I had to make 3 trips to the basement.
This is not fair. I'm strong enough to do this.
I can do this.
But as a good trainer, you're going to tell people, listen.
I totally didn't. I made my 3 trips.
Well, that's good. I'm impressed with you for doing
I know, right? This is hard.
I still would have been tempted.
I was looking at them and I was like, I can do this.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person, and I'm sure you probably are too, and probably so many people are. I go to the grocery store, come home. I got my gym bag.
Well, I made the kids come with me. I had to get like water bottles and stuff. Yeah. So I made them come with me to carry so we could all split it up.
Everybody at the grocery store is probably going, why is she having
I know. Why does she have those kids carrying all that?
Yeah. And, you know, I come home and I don't want to make like several trips up and down the stairs. So even though I work out all the time. But when I get home, I want to be done, you know? So it's like you grab everything all in one shot. And like half of the time you're probably like dropping stuff and making extra work. But
but you did it.
But I did it. And I feel better.
Right.
I always feel better making 1 or 2 trips versus 5.
Yeah.
That's more realistic.
I'm like, okay, let me get these 2 little bags. Yeah. Let me get these 2.
And I have found, although, like, are you a paper or plastic, or do you do your own?
I take my own.
Yeah, I know. I need to get one. No, there's nothing wrong with that. And I have some, but I tend to forget them in my car.
Yeah, I keep them in the car.
I know, but I even dang it. So then, you know, usually I would have grabbed like paper, but then I'll like grab plastic so that I can put more on my arms.
Oh yeah, you can put like 15 of them on there.
Yeah. And the paper bags don't last very long, anyways. No. Like when you try to like carry more.
You gotta be all careful.
Underneath instead of grabbing this way.
Right.
Speaking of groceries, how's your nutrition?
I'm really staying on point with everything. I mean, since I can't do anything, I was like, I don't know how to eat for this.
Yeah, because you're not being as active, right?
Well, yeah. Well, and at first, when I was eating, my stomach was getting full and it hurt.
Yeah.
Because it would push on those nerves and stuff. So then I wasn't eating enough because it hurt, and it was kind of getting into this cycle. And then I talked to the doctor and I was like, I'm having all this pain. And he said, oh yeah, that's normal. Okay, maybe mention that before we do surgery next time. Yeah. I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
So then I kind of was like, okay, it's going to go away, you know, whatever. And I was doing better. So like, I'm keeping it real clean.
Yeah.
Just staying on top of that. And then, you know, doing what I can. Like every night I'm like, what can I do?
You like, are you able to eat a full meal then right now, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely, like, I tried, my kids like the little Mexican restaurant. I can't eat like the spicy and it's too much on my stomach, but you know, my foods, I'm fine. Yeah. So
well, that's good.
Yeah.
So still prepping all your meals and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And what do you eat for breakfast? Let's kind of compare notes.
So I drink egg whites.
You drink them?
I do.
Yeah. There's the boxing bag in the back. Of course you are.
Right.
I want to see you running up and down some stairs.
So I drink like a cup of egg whites and I put oatmeal in it. And a little bit of cream for fat. Okay,
so you're blending it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like I'm drinking the egg whites.
No, I mean, I stir it, you know, in the blender and then drink it.
That does not sound appealing to me. Sorry.
Everybody says that. I actually learned it from a trainer here, like the first guy that helped me with my nutrition, because I have to eat, I think it's like 13 eggs, like 2 whole eggs and then 13 egg whites every day to get my protein in.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't like eggs that much. What the hell? So, and I do now, like now that I know different ways to fix them, but I was like, I can't eat this much eggs.
So I'm going to drink them? No, that would never come to my mind.
Right. So now I'm drinking them and it's totally fine.
Oh, do you taste it? Like, or you just are
so I normally I just get the egg whites at the grocery store. They're pasteurized, so you can't get sick, whatever. And the texture of them it's like milk.
Okay.
It's not like snotty.
I know what it looks like. I get them too. So, but I still can't imagine drinking it. I mean, do you want me to get a box and show everybody?
It's good.
No. I'll put you working.
So now I started getting muscle egg. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got the pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah.
That I could see tasting much better.
But I mean, I didn't have any trouble. I would put like some peanut butter or something in there for a little bit of flavor, but it was fine. I've been doing it for years. It's not even weird.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I can share with you guys a little weird thing that I do. Because I'm harassed all the time by a special person in the gym who remembers me doing this. I haven't done it for a long time, but I used to come into the gym and I would take like one water bottle or whatever, and it would be red, and everybody would be like, "What are you drinking?" And it's cayenne pepper.
Oh
yeah, it's a natural thermogenic.
It is.
Yeah. So the first time I took that, I was like, but now I love the stuff.
You just temper to it, yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of people give me a hard time by it, and I don't know a lot of people that can do it, but I really have. I think that has also like made my senses for spicy stuff really develop.
Yeah.
I love spicy stuff.
I do too.
Yeah. But I never used to.
Okay.
Yeah. But so now it's like the spicier, the better.
Yeah.
In fact, I had found like a fruit cayenne pepper. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like in a little bottle and you just like pop her in, right? Well, I didn't like it because it wasn't spicy.
Yeah. It didn't taste like that. Yeah.
It didn't do the same for me. Like I wanted that hot.
Right.
Clean my tongue, clean my nose.
Yeah.
And that fruit stuff, although it tasted pretty good, it just wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same. Yeah.
No, it didn't make you sweat and
it
felt pretty good because I tell you that would like really intensify my workouts.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So if you're gonna do it though, it's a very small serving. And also, I used to.
I put it on popcorn.
Oh yeah, I put cayenne on everything. But I'll tell you something not to do.
Rub your eye.
Okay, so I used to carry like a little thing of cayenne pepper in my gym bag because I always filled up my water bottle and put it in, right? Makes sense to me. So one day I went to grab my bottle and it like exploded like in my face. I swear.
Oh my gosh.
In my eyes. I'm like,
oh, that burns.
It burns so bad.
Oh my gosh.
After that point, I was like, I am not leaving this in my bag anymore.
Yeah.
So luckily for me, I work at the gym, so I just kept one at the gym.
Yeah.
Break room. So works out really well. But be careful because you can shake that stuff up, and you definitely don't want to touch your face or your eyes to it.
Yeah. Don't get it under your nails because that's horrible.
Yeah. Yep. And same with like, speaking of all that kind of stuff, like I don't know if any of you use like creams and stuff for like muscle pains and aches.
Oh yeah, a lot of them have capsaicin. Yep.
Yes. And I have one that is extremely powerful, right? And so the first time that I used it, I had a torn calf muscle. Ooh. And so my friend was like, you got to get this stuff. And it's like meant for people with arthritis and severe muscle aches, cramps, pains. And but he's like, be careful because it's very strong. And it doesn't like kick in right away like some of your other stuff. Like I've gotten Tiger Balm, all things like that. And that's more like subtle, like it happens kind of instantly. Well, anyways, so the first time I used this stuff, I was also getting the flu. And
no.
So I had like muscle, like aches, like my hurt and everything. And so what I started off just on my calf, I decided to rub it on my neck.
This will be better.
Use it like lotion, head to toe, and not really realizing that when I fell asleep with the chills, under the covers, all of a sudden I wake up and I am like burning.
On fire.
Yes, I'm on fire, but I'm freezing.
Right.
can't like get it under control. And I'm like crying. I'm like, I'm like texting my friend.
I don't know what's wrong.
I think I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm washing the stuff off with a rag and stuff. It would like kind of help, and then like 5 minutes later,
you gotta use Dawn because it cuts the oil.
Okay, that makes sense. Well,
when I'm cutting like peppers, because I cook with jalapeno a lot.
Yeah,
I use Dawn and scrub under all my nails to make sure it's not under my nail beds.
Good idea. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for future.
Mistake you make once.
Right? Once you do something one time, you will learn, right?
Right. I get out my little toothbrush, I get out my Dawn, and I scrub.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so I'm texting my friend, and I'm looking on the internet, and it's saying that a lot of people go to the hospital from this stuff. And so anyway.
So then you're panicking.
I am panicking. And I'm like, I got the flu all of a sudden, and everything hurts. And I'm sweating, and I'm freezing, and I can't get warm. But
I'm on fire.
And my skin was red. So I guess my whole point to the story is be careful of that stuff, because it is that powerful.
Use it cautiously.
Yeah, it took 2 hours for that stuff to kick in. Like I did
not. No way.
You know what I probably did? Because
I
used it before. I bet you I put a double dose on.
Probably.
Because I'm like, well, I don't feel anything.
Right. Well, this is doing nothing.
Yeah. Be careful of products like that are out there, because you just never know, and everybody does have different kind of reactions and sensitivities to things. So
I'm sensitive too. I was taking a cayenne like in a pill.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
And if I let my stomach get empty, I get hot flashes, like sweat dripping off of me if I let my stomach get empty on that.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that I'm eating well, and of course drinking a lot, but like I have to keep something on my stomach.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've had my sensitivities to supplements and stuff have never really been a problem until a few months back. I started taking calcium magnesium. I was taking it in a pill and no problem. And then I found a bottle that's just like liquid.
Oh, okay.
I thought, well, how cool is that?
Done.
It's like blueberry or something like that. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I wish I could find the video somewhere of this stuff, because it took me a while to figure out that this was making me sick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like really, really sick. My stomach hurt so bad. It was like twisting in knots. And well, if you would have saw the video of like what the stuff looked like, I could take this bottle. Like the first day it poured easy, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to refrigerate it. And like the next day it was getting thicker and thicker. This stuff was like paste and like gum. Like it was.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, how can this stuff be good on your stomach? You know, it's like it's sitting there. It tasted good, sure, but it was chalky.
Yeah.
And
calcium,
Yeah, and gummy. So anyways, I thought maybe it was just a bad bottle.
Right.
So I stopped taking it, and then my stomach ache went away, right?
Wow.
And then, so I was out of the pills then at some point later, like probably like 8 weeks later, and I had another one of those bottles that I had bought.
Okay.
And, so I thought, well, I'll try it again. And so the same thing. The first day it was like really liquidy and it poured really well. And then every time I open it up again, it gets thicker and thicker.
Wow.
Yeah. And I started getting these really bad stomach pains again.
So
I'm like, this, obviously it kind of just like, really confirmed my feelings of what was going on. And so I videotaped it, because I could not believe that this stuff was coming out of the bottle like that. And I mean, I wanted to like rinse the bottle out to like, recycle it. And I couldn't get the stuff out.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, this can't be good. I was literally like, I would pound the bottle to try to get it out. But then I'd hold it like this and it'd be just like the string. Like,
oh my gosh.
White gooey paste. I'm like, that cannot possibly be.
That is so weird.
Yeah, so I'm like, is it the bottle? Like, did I happen to get 2 bad batches? Like, I bought them at the same time.
Like, same lot, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Or is that how they all are? So if anybody knows, I would be really curious.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if that is what it does to you, like, what is it doing to the
Something that you're taking, that your body it's not that you're not used to the supplement. It's that form. Yeah.
Form. Yep. So I go back to the pill and I'll never go back to liquid. I actually
So weird.
Yeah, I was in a vitamin shop the other day and I saw some in there. Not the same brand, but a different one. And, I was going to ask the guy. I didn't know if he
Yeah.
was, but, he was busy. But I'm really curious.
I think I know a guy on Body Space that's like a manager at a GNC. Yeah. I'll have to ask him.
You should, because I'm so curious to find out if that's how it all is or if I just got a really funky batch.
I wonder if it's on Amazon. I always go there and look at customer reviews.
Yeah. I know I took a picture and video of it. I'll have to look for it.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I know. And I kept thinking, like, this is what I'm putting in my body. Like, why am I putting this in my body? It doesn't even look good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I threw both of them bottles away, obviously, but
that's really weird.
Mm-hmm. I thought so. Yeah. So other than that, I've, really don't have any reactions negatively to supplementation. So
luckily. I have to tell you, when they did my pre-op appointment, I guess it was like a week and a half before my surgery. They were like, "What do you take?" And I knew this was coming.
Right.
So I had printed out all my labels, and I took them in there. Yeah. And the lady was like, "What is this?" Yeah. Girl, okay, first, every nurse, way overweight. Second, no doctor, no nurse, not one person that I talked to could even pronounce creatine.
Really?
I was like, this is the most basic thing in the world. How can you not say? They didn't know what creatine was. They didn't know what BCAAs were. Well, none of it.
That's really interesting too, because I actually went to the doctor the other day myself, and I thought this was funny because it wasn't even like your regular doctor, and
yeah.
And so nothing that they should even have to care about what you're taking.
Right.
Is my feelings, right? And I kind of understand why they have to do it or whatever. But anyway, so she asked me what I'm taking, and of course I, like a dummy, said I'm taking a multivitamin. I'm like, I'm taking glutamine. And then I realized that she's going through this little monitor, this computer screen, and trying to find each one of those.
Right. And which was why I printed up my labels.
But she would have still punched it in. And then there was different servings of it and each one. And she's like, and I'm like, I couldn't even find what I was taking. I'm like, I am not telling her anymore what I take.
Right.
We're done.
I take a joint supplement, anything that has aloe in it. Well, they took everything. They were like, you can't take any of this. And I was like, what do you mean I can't take any of this? I said, can I take protein?
Probably not, huh?
They said I could have protein. So my protein has BCAAs in it.
That's funny.
So I took that one.
You know what BCAAs were?
But they took everything. They were like, you can't take any of it.
I don't know what it was, but they're just being on the safe side and saying you can't have any of this.
Well, a lot of them had aloe in it, and they said aloe can potentially thin your blood.
I see.
Which, if you're cutting somebody's stomach open, you probably...
Right. Yeah. I
get it.
You have something serious go on, for sure. You want to
BCAAs, creatine, things those are just... Even my multivitamin.
You couldn't even take that?
No.
That's
nothing.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So are you able to take anything now?
I said, can I take pre-workout? No, you can't take that. What?
That I would say no.
What?
That's funny.
Can I drink coffee?
Probably no, huh?
They let me drink coffee and they let me have protein. So I made it work.
Like protein smoothie coffee mix?
Right. I totally did. I was like, okay, here's my cup of coffee, throw in a scoop of protein.
I make a really good smoothie with coffee and protein powder. So yeah. That's in fact,
I'm getting my sneaky BCAAs in.
You want to hear something really funny is I never drank coffee until about a month ago.
I was going to say it was recent. I remember that.
So I never never, in fact, most people have always found this weird, never even tried it, never even cared to try it.
Oh, wow.
It smells. Like it always smells like nice, the ground stuff,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you pass by like one of the coffee shops or whatever. But when it's in the house and stuff, I can't stand the smell. And so anyways, because it's in that protein drink that I've been drinking,
Yeah.
um, I've grown to like it. I
Yeah.
like the effects of it. I feel like Superwoman some days.
Right. Right.
So
Well,
now,
so like before my surgery,
yeah.
my dad was in the hospital, so I was like going to see him, getting my kids to and from school, going to work, doing like everything, just worn out, not sleeping, the whole deal. So I was living on that coffee. The minute that I had that surgery, I have not had a drop since.
And how do you feel like about it?
Like I'm totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think a lot of it's in people's heads.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. But I did feel the
They
effect.
took all my stuff. I needed something to wake up.
Well, and I stopped taking pre-workouts, so I
I had never taken pre-workout until like pretty recently. So,
okay.
because I
Yeah,
got a free sample.
sure.
So,
And then you're hooked.
well, I use it like because I work out at night.
Yeah.
Some days I'm like, either I'm going to bed or I'm going to work out.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
days the workout has to happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, I stopped taking all pre-workouts. Um, Pretty much my diet was pretty clean, like of
yeah.
any cat. I don't drink anything. I don't drink soda or anything. So pretty much
Yep.
just water, lemon.
Yep.
Um, I was drinking some tea, but it was a lot of the stuff that I had. I didn't even realize that it was caffeine free. So I wasn't even getting caffeine in there. After I started taking coffee and I started looking at the labels better, going, I probably should watch how much caffeine I get. I'm like, caffeine free. Like,
What was I doing? We're changing this.
Oh, wait. So anyways, I was like getting that little like everything out of my system. And
Yep.
it was totally fine. And then my coworker, he gave me a free sample probably a few weeks back of a pre-workout.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I had the best.
Woo!
Oh my God, I was an animal.
Oh.
I could have lifted a house. I swear to God, my quads had never hurt so good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
By good, I mean bad.
Right.
The most intense workout I've had in a long time. So I was like, woohoo! I was like, oh, baby.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So I'm like, the next week I see him and I'm like, yeah, that was good. I'm like, let's give some more for Friday. I got legs again on Friday. So I got another sample.
Can you just slide me? Just slip it through the door.
Like you're doing something naughty, right? Some of that pre-workout.
I'll leave the money on the counter.
So I caught my pre-workout again for that next Friday and the same thing. I'm
Right.
like, woohoo! I'm like, yes, this is good. So like I had an intense workout again. And yeah, so I started thinking about it over the week. I'm like, okay, yeah. Friday's coming again. I'm like, hey Nate, can you give me a like carton?
Right, right.
I want it by Friday. So I did. So I really like the stuff. I don't use it all the time, but
I think when you use it all the time, that's when it becomes an issue. Yeah. But like when you're using it, for like a purpose, I think.
I use it for leg day.
Right.
I have 2 leg days a week. I split mine up hamstrings and quad.
Okay.
And those are obviously very large muscles.
Right.
And
they tire.
They tire. Although I can honestly say my legs never get, I don't want to say never, but they don't tire as easy. Mm-hmm. But I love training them so hard and I love training them very heavy. But I'll tell you, that little extra boost really made a big mental difference to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It just made me feel awesome. And so I decided that it would be fun for me to have it on my leg days.
Right.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't take it just for like a cardio workout or anything like that.
No.
I wouldn't see the point of it, but not
Oh,
only.
I have to tell you. So while I was off and I was doing my walks and stuff, I was talking to CJ and I was like, CJ, like a grandma, I'm going to the park and going for a walk. I was joking with him. I said, CJ, wait, if I take some pre-workout before I go to the park and take a walk, does that make me not a grandma?
I'm just picturing somehow like a grandma with her pre-workout. Have you ever seen Something About Mary? I love that part when she gets a little, extra supplement vacuuming. She starts lifting up the couch.
Well, that's at the same time I'm going through it. My dad had a heart attack during his baseball game. He was walking in from the outfield and his chest started hurting him. And one of the guys on the team that they were playing is a paramedic. And, my dad had like every sign, but didn't want to go because he was in the middle of a game.
Yeah, of course. Got priority.
Yeah, right. They were winning.
Gotta watch the rest.
Right. So, and my dad is 62.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they ended up taking him to the hospital and everything. And so he had open heart surgery. He had double bypass. The doctor lectured me and my brother. He said, you need to take care of yourselves, blah, blah, blah. Your dad, there's no reason for him to be here other than genetics. You've got the same genes. Take care of your body. Okay. So my dad, he has all these restrictions and stuff. He can't do anything. So he's walking now. Yeah.
Are you guys meeting at the park?
I was walking outside and he wasn't allowed to walk outside because it was too chilly. After your chest has been open, they want to watch the temperature and stuff. So my dad, I was reading his papers and it said something about a lot of malls have groups. I said, oh my God, you have to send me a picture the first time you go mall walking. So my mom sends me this picture of my dad, like with the saddest, grouchiest face, like standing in the mall walking.
At like 5 a.m.
He was like, I am officially old.
That's so funny. I used to, see people walk in the mall all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them are pretty fast,
Well, I get there sometimes, before they open on Sunday because I can never remember what time they open.
Yeah.
And there's always all these people like flying around. Yeah.
Well, and
they're serious, man.
Yeah. If you think about it, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's free.
Right.
And it's
a huge space.
And it's out of the environments.
Right.
Also, if it's raining, snowing, like in Wisconsin here,
it's
pretty cool.
Yep.
It's cool that I guess people can go do that and not have to worry about a gym membership. So
right.
What does that also prove? There's no excuses, right?
Right.
So you can always
even if you have to walk like a grandma.
Yeah. It's really
you can take some pre-workout and go walk like a grandma.
Yeah, we'll get our parents to take that and then leave them at the mall.
I can't imagine.
Don't tell them, just slip it in the coffee. Right. Double whammy. Make that coffee strong.
What's this?
They'll never know. That's funny. Well, you had something with your dad and, of course, yourself. And I had something going on with my mom, too. I think right at the same time.
Yeah, like right around the same, yeah.
Yeah. So my mom, I was, like, really concerned with. She had called me. She kind of told me she wasn't feeling right. She didn't know what she was feeling dizzy. And, of course, I'm like, well, like, maybe you should come over here, so I can.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'll call you if I need you. I'm like, how are you going to call me if you pass out?
Right. That's not a good plan.
Yeah, not a good idea, right? So I was kind of concerned, and I let like 10 minutes or so go by. I ate my meal, and then I was going to go check on her, and she had called me in the meantime while she was more concerned and wanted to go to the doctors. Now she's freaking me out.
Yeah.
So of course now I'm
Because
thinking,
they never want to do that.
yeah, no, and I'm thinking heart attack, something like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, and because she took her blood pressure was like skyrocket high, and her legs were like numb. So I'm like, what is going
Did you
on?
give her a pre-workout?
She just had a leg workout with me an hour ago. we forget those details.
Cayenne.
High intensity. It's all about high intensity. And workout till you puke. What are we, CrossFitters?
Right.
Anyway, I decided to take her to the hospital. And I used to work at the hospital, but they recently made it a new hospital, and I forgot that they moved. And also, like, on the way there, there's like a whole road construction because they took out the bridge. So I had to go take like this whole long detour in the middle of the night. And it's like country roads, dark.
Right.
And so like halfway there, my mom's like, maybe I should have called the ambulance. And I'm thinking, oh, great. And like back there in those roads, your cell phone doesn't always work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now?
This is not the time to announce that.
And then of course she's like, watch out for the deer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I got this. I'm like, I got this.
Don't talk anymore.
I didn't say a word because I'm kind of like going underneath my breath going, what the heck? Like,
right.
There's something really serious going on here, you know? So I finally find the hospital because it's me. And so I get in there, we get her in there. They didn't seem all overly concerned, which I found kind of odd. But anyways, they checked her in. They kind of looked at her, all that stuff. And then they hooked her up to EKG. Everything was normal. But of course her blood pressure was really high and she was really dehydrated. So, which is my next point too, is like, she's not drinking enough water, which I always get on her about, right? So I'm watching her, like, she didn't look good. Like her lips were like purplish, like almost like pasty, like, and like she really was thirsty.
Right.
And so anyways, we're still obviously concerned. We have her hooked up now to the IV, all that stuff. Doctor comes in and can't physically see anything like terribly abnormal. The EKG was fine, but a little concerned because of the blood pressure. So going to do like a CAT scan, which of course, like, that kind of freaks you out, like, you know. So anyways, they take her for the CAT scan, and of course you wait for the results. Well, turns out she has a sinus infection.
No way.
Yeah, like she's like a sinus infection, which of course we're like, you know, like happy. Of course you're happy.
Well, yeah, but oh my gosh.
I'm thinking, what? Like, so the sinus infection, she's like, I don't have any cold, like no symptoms.
Yeah.
But then she started thinking, because like her eye was kind of like draining like a couple days prior.
Oh.
So that's of course part of your sinus.
Yep.
Yes. So anyways, the sinus infection caused her to get sick.
Wow.
And then I think she just had some kind of panic attack because of it as well. Yeah. So, but the other part of it obviously was that she was very dehydrated. So, you know, of course, then I got to lecture her after, you know, started there, but a little more afterwards. It's like, water is so important, you know, and I always hear people tell me that they can't drink water. They can't drink enough water.
Right.
And it's like, how can you not drink water? You know,
I've seen people like I have Gatorade now, but they'll take a bottle and mark like every hour.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it gets to be that time, you know, you got to drink, and that keeps them drinking.
I'm getting it, I guess. But to me, that even seems weird to me. Because
I know. I drink like 2 to 3 gallons of water a day.
And I don't want to say little because that's a big bottle of that Gatorade, but I'll have clients that come in and they'll show me kind of just like what you did. They'll lift up their bottle and like, like, this is how much I've had all day. And it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going, that's all you've had?
Right.
All day?
Right.
Like, seriously?
Well, I was in the bathroom at a store with my kids at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how, but we were talking about going to the bathroom. And I said, what color is it when you go to the bathroom? Is it like bright yellow or is it like water? And my daughter said, that it was like dark, whatever. And I said, then you're not drinking enough water. Oh, she said her lips were chapped. And I said, okay, are you drinking enough? Da, 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 da. So we're talking about this. And this woman comes out of the stall and she goes, I just had the same talk with my mother last night. What color is your urine?
That's so funny. Well, I mean, that's good though. It's good that
that's your indicator.
Yes. And it's good that everybody like you and that other lady are educating their kids.
Right.
Because it's really easy, especially like as kids, get into maybe some poor habits like grabbing more juice, more soda.
My kids don't like juice. They don't drink soda. They drink milk and they drink water. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Unless, like me, you go to the hospital when your kid is like 18 months and they go to test her blood sugar because she hasn't eaten in like half a day and she's been fighting and she's been sick. Her blood sugar was like bottomed out. They were like, will she eat, Fruit Loops? And I was like, I don't know. Will she drink chocolate milk? I don't know. Will she drink juice? I don't know. She's 18 months old. I don't give her this stuff. Yeah. And they just looked at me like I was insane.
That's funny.
I was like, I don't know. This is not our diet. I don't know if she'll eat it.
And it's unfortunately probably the diet of most people.
Yeah. They just looked at me like, do you not know your kid? And I was like, this is not the food that we eat.
Yeah. And I don't remember, like 18 months, that seems like pretty young to have that kind of stuff added into the diet anyways. I don't know. But
yeah.
But I think like, as long as you're having some moderation and teaching your kids that stuff, that's okay, once in a while, but it's something that you definitely don't want to like bring them up on.
No, it shouldn't be staples.
No, it shouldn't be staples. And I think if you can try to teach them more about fruits, vegetables.
Right. We've been talking lately about, I have plates that are divided like in half and then the two orders. So we're talking about like putting our fruits and vegetables and our grains and our meats. And so. Yeah.
Well, I was kind of impressed because Colin, he's 6 years old and he's got a health teacher that I'm actually very impressed with. I don't know who the teacher is, but anyways, he come home one day telling me about there's team A and there's team B. He's like, you always want to root for team A. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like, I agree, but what are you talking about? I like team A, but I'm thinking, all right, good. But he's like, A team, they eat vegetables, and the B team, he's like, the A team's throwing like fruits and vegetables to the team B, and team B is throwing junk food, and you always want to root for team A.
I'm in.
That's how cool is that? And so then he became like on this big Apple fix because of school.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty awesome because if you can get teachers teaching about nutrition, health, at an early age like that, that's so much easier. As long as, your parents, of course, are also trying to help. But that's the other
thing. You have to lead by example.
Yeah, and like CJ, he talked about himself growing up and kind of himself having to teach himself
in the South.
Yep.
Where everything's made with lard and butter and
and
salt.
And not everybody's brought up on healthy food, but it is something that you got to educate yourself with.
Yeah.
Like as far as like clients too, I try to stress that all the time. And I know my clients that are going to listen, which ones will and which ones won't. And it sort of sometimes gets frustrating to me because the ones that I really want to like pick up these nutritional changes, they just won't. And I'm spelling it out.
People are so resistant to changing their food.
I know. And it's really very unfortunate because I can't stress to you guys enough how important your diet is, because if you are not willing to change your diet, you cannot out-train a poor diet, okay? Meaning you cannot hit the gym Monday through Friday or whatever days that you are planning on going and expect results. So I might be blunt with my clients when I tell them that, but I'm not going to sugarcoat. Sugarcoat. Maybe you'd like me to, but I'm not going to sugarcoat. Fruit Loops, okay? I'm going to give you a protein pancake.
Right. with BCAAs.
Right. But, you know, like if you are seriously wanting results, then you're going to make some type of sacrifice, bottom line. So don't expect miracles by hiring a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Meet with them once, twice, maybe 3 times a week, because even 3 times a week with a trainer is still not going to get you the results if you're not going to change your diet.
For me, it was that A, I wasn't eating enough.
Mm-hmm.
And B, I did not know how to get the right foods. Like I was just burning through everything and I was hungry to the point where either I was not going to train anymore,
Right,
or like something bad was going to happen. And that's when I went to someone to help me with my diet.
yeah.
And that's when I found out I need like 13 eggs a day and started drinking my egg whites.
And you know what?
But that was like,
yeah,
my body just immediately started responding.
yeah. And you know, I have been in fitness, teaching fitness for almost 20 years now.
Right.
Hard to believe, but true story. And
You were like 5.
exactly. And I'm gonna roll with that. But my point is that I have always been very strong in the gym. Like seriously, can lift a lot of weight, especially with my legs, bench press, stuff like that. But and I've had some muscle, yes. But my nutrition, in my opinion, has never been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when I was really young, eating a lot of carbs, like white carbs,
Right.
and, pastas,
Oh yeah.
cheese, dairy, stuff like that.
Because
And it tastes good. That's what I liked.
Right.
I didn't like broccoli growing up. I did not like it, and I was probably one of the pickiest eaters as a kid. If anything touched one another, I would not eat anything on my plate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would sleep at the table, you guys, because my dad would not let me get up, and I would not eat my food. So over the years, then I just kind of stuck with the foods I liked, not really knowing that hey, that's not really a good idea.
This may not work.
You're not going to see what you're really working so hard for in the gym for.
Yep.
So I kept doing that for years, and I had some awesome workouts, but I never looked the way I wanted to look.
Yeah.
And so not until, and I've tried like getting help from certain people, like with nutrition, and I've, researched things, and I've tried to follow diets that I've found in like Muscle Fitness or whatever. And nothing really worked for me. Nothing really meant anything to me, if that makes sense. Like it just didn't click. And so I've been watching this guy through Body Space and through, Facebook, and watching all the wonderful transformations of these people, and really, thinking I really should work with this person. I should contact him. I know it costs money, but like I should do that.
Yeah.
And it seemed expensive, and it kind of is, but it seemed expensive where it was probably like at some point, like not worth it to me. Like maybe I've looked at everything else I've done in my past and thought, what good is that going to do me? It's just going to be another waste money or this or that.
Yeah.
And, but the more I looked at his transformations and watched all the awesome people, I started thinking, well, why can't I do that? Like, that
body not, yeah.
Yeah, like what I was watching his nutritional plans and all the awesome meals going, that sounds good to me.
Right.
So, like I can do that. And although the one thing I couldn't do, in my opinion, was cook. So I didn't feel like I could cook. Yeah. And so, I think that's why all these plans that I've tried in the past never worked for me, because it all says something like, 4 ounces of protein.
Right.
This, that, da.
Which doesn't mean anything until you've been doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had been doing that, right? Well, I never looked forward to my meals.
Yeah.
Like, okay, chicken, broccoli.
Right.
So it was like just your basics, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you want to stick to that, there's nothing wrong with it, because that's exactly.
I eat a bag of broccoli every day.
I eat a lot of broccoli too. But my point
is mustard on there.
Get very creative. So when I started working with this person, obviously I felt like it was worth it. You know,
Right.
for me, and it's just like with all my clients, it's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're willing to make that investment, you better be willing to make the sacrifices.
Right.
So in personal training, if you're going to hire me, I hope to God that you're going to do what I say.
Yeah.
To help you get there, because otherwise I hate to say that you're wasting my time and your time, but in a way you kind of are,
Right.
because you're making this financial sacrifice, but you're not like doing all the work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't put in 100%, you're not going to get 100%.
Right.
So put in what you get. That's what you're going to get out of it. So when I decided to work with this person, I got some awesome meals. Everything was tailor-made pretty much for my body, like what my caloric needs needed to be.
Yep.
So I have learned how to cook some great meals.
Yay.
And I enjoy cooking, and it's really become pretty fun. And guess what? I don't know if you saw, I think you saw my transformation of my
I did.
Yeah. So that's over 4 years. I put, and some of you maybe seen that, like my 4-year transformation of just a back shot. So I was just randomly going through my computer today and I saw old shots. Yeah. And I was like, wow. I'm like, because I had just recently taken a back shot, and I was like, I look a little different. And, this is also why I stress taking progress shots.
See, I never do.
Do it.
And then I'll take one and I'm like, whoa.
Yes, exactly. Because we look at ourselves every day. And
I don't even pay attention.
In the mirror, I pay attention. I pay attention all the time. But I'm obsessed with the mirror. Okay?
I'm just like going through life, whatever. I don't know.
Not that either. But I'm very aware. Okay. And but at the same time, not aware, apparently.
Right.
It's like if I had never had any of those shots before, I would have never been able to say, wow, look at where I started.
Mm-hmm.
And look at where I am now, because that's a transformation.
Yeah.
And without that, I've just been like, I'm obviously going to keep going towards my next whatever it is.
Right.
But I never would have had anything to look back at.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have been as impressed. So, take those progress shots, have your trainer take them yourself, set up a self timer. It doesn't really matter, because those are important
things.
Have
your kids do it.
Have your kids do it.
You may not have a head. It's okay. That part doesn't change that much.
But it really makes so much difference. And also, it really is nothing about the scale.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I posted a little bit on there. And I try, most women get wrapped up in that number a little bit. Okay. Even myself, just a little bit sometimes. But those pictures, those 4 years pictures, those are all the same weight.
Are they really?
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, they took my weight before my surgery, and then they took it when I went back like a week after, because I was like having pain and stuff. Yeah. And I was down 5 pounds, and I freaked out. I was like, this is not good.
And you know what? We fluctuate 2 to 5 every day, but
oh yeah,
and so that's why we can't get so wrapped up in it. But yeah, when I went to
my scale broke like months ago, and I got a new one.
You did,
and I have not even taken it out of the box. It's been sitting. Fun. Yeah,
I have one for my clients.
That's why I got it.
Yeah. And,
haven't stepped on it. Yeah, wrong with it's there. It's real pretty.
Nothing wrong with having baseline and given it's your clients and this and that.
Right.
But when we get a little obsessed or let it rule our day.
Oh yeah.
In our mood, like,
oh yeah,
I'm going to get on the scale and I'm going to have a really awesome day.
Right.
Then I'm going to have a
determining. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's and I see my clients do that.
My friend Monica weighs herself like once a year.
That's fine.
Because if it's up, she gets real panicky and tends to not eat enough to continue to build.
Yeah.
So she won't get on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I wasn't going to get on it when I went to the doctor. I didn't plan on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made me, right?
Right.
So I'm like, I was under stress that week anyway. So,
so
I'm like, I'm going to get on it. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but I'm going to look forward. I'm not going to look at the number.
Yeah.
You can't mess with my head.
Right.
So I did. I got on and I did exactly what I said. And then
when I was pregnant, I used to get on it backwards.
Yeah. When I was pregnant, I wanted to know every time I went in there. And I wrote it down in my little book.
Right.
Well, so I didn't look at the scale, right? And so then I get into the room and she pulls out this little thing with the little stickers and stuff. And she says, can you just verify this information? And I look and there's my weight.
Oh.
Like,
fail.
Like, seeing it. I did get frustrated for a second there because I had been working so hard at my nutrition.
Right.
What? I don't know even how long now, maybe 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was 1 pound lighter than where I started. So I'm like,
but your body is killing it.
But isn't that just interesting?
Yeah.
It's really something that we should not take into full like heart. But yeah, like, and you know, of course, my coach was like, well, yeah, but look at you, like,
right
here, like you're clearly sitting at a different 170 now. So,
yeah.
You know, so it's interesting. But yeah, for a second there, I was like, I quit.
Right.
I'm not having a good day. What are you gonna do?
It's not coming back.
Yeah. Doctors.
I need a new doctor.
Like, you don't even need to know my weight. Why do you? I'll tell you something funny that made my day though. After that, actually, I didn't let her know that it got to me, right? Well, then of course I had to take my jacket off to get my blood pressure, I think, or something. I don't remember what it was. And she goes, wow. She goes, you have nice arms. She goes, you must work out.
Everyone at the hospital was like, do you like work out or something? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Which totally made me happy then. So I went from like, yes, I do.
You say creatine?
Not.
Every one of them. Creatinine? What is?
That's really funny, isn't it?
You're a doctor. You just operated on my body.
Yeah, not good.
It's not creatinine.
That's funny. Well, I used to teach at the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Exercise classes. But like I said, it was like moved, right?
Right.
And I haven't been teaching at the hospital for, I don't remember how many years now. But anyways, when I brought my mom in that night, I had some lady in there that was working on my mom, all that stuff. And then after she gets my mom all settled, she goes, you look really familiar. And I said, you know, blah, blah, blah. We made a little talk. And I said, well, I used to teach class too. Anyway, so then she leaves. And then the young guy that had taken my mom for x-rays, CAT scan, he came back. And meanwhile, like my mom's gone, you know, and I'm on the phone with my brother, like trying to explain what's going on. He comes in. I start getting nervous because I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, what is he, like, he's going to tell me something bad. So I'm like, I got to go. And then he's like, oh, he goes, I just wanted to say you look really familiar. And I was like,
get out.
Oh. It was so funny. So then when I went to the hospital again, I had 3 people there that night tell me that, by the way. Gosh. And so then when I went to the hospital, the totally different area, because last time was ER, I went in there for myself, and the girl that said, you know, you have nice arms. And I said, well, you know, blah, blah. So I used to teach here at the, she's like, oh, you did? She goes, you look really familiar. She said, I think like, I can't go anywhere in this hospital.
Right. I do have to say, when I got there and they needed to do like IV and do my pre-surgery blood draw and stuff, they were like, oh, you have nice veins. This is going to be easy.
Funny. You know, I don't think I ever really had like prominent veins. Like right there, yeah, for sure. I bubble. But like otherwise nothing. And like recently I'm starting to see a little bit more veins come out.
Right.
I'm excited.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And you know, most people probably think that I'm nuts or we're nuts.
Right. Like, we're a different breed. Yeah, we're not like the other girls.
Right? I'm like, do you see that cute little vein?
Right. I was doing preacher curls one night and one popped out on my bicep and I was like, oh, can I get a picture of that without dropping this?
It's so how I am too. It's like,
right.
It didn't show up as nice as I wanted it. Why is one different there, not here?
There's one in my leg that I can feel, but I can't see it yet.
Yeah, those are the ones I don't like to show.
No, this is a good one.
Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah, well, you know what's pretty cool though? It's like I'm feeling them in my lower abs.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
That's pretty awesome.
But I have to tell you that's like, in my opinion, my worst body part as far as like aesthetically.
Yeah, feeling it.
I probably shouldn't talk to you today.
No, I'm just teasing you.
But in my opinion, that's always been like my least favorite muscle to show.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about my abs is that they are extremely strong and they're so solid, but I've always had this extra adipose tissue, of course, on top of it. And it takes a lot of time, apparently, for me to burn it off.
Right.
And even through clean nutrition. But the fact that I can see, I can see them visibly, but feel the veins.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Because, once you can get your abs lean is really, to me, my opinion, like a true sense of leanness,
It is, yeah. Especially for women.
Yeah, because sure, we can have nice limbs or whatever, but I want the whole package.
Right. I can, like, my obliques and everything is like cut, but like the midline is totally, but I mean, I've got so much scar tissue and stuff going on because I had C-section. I've had 3 surgeries for hernias and everything.
So how is your scar?
And I have no belly button.
No. You have one?
It's like this little tiny fold. It's not a belly button anymore.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me either now or after.
I will show you after. It's really
because I'm curious.
There's still like stuff from so they had like everything taped, and there's still like stuff.
Oh, I bet
it looks really weird.
Go back.
But I didn't have one after my last surgery. It was just like this fold of skin. It's even smaller now. Yeah.
I feel like.
So I have no belly button.
Can you take the lower back with that?
And do you think we could pierce that little piece of skin so it looks like I have a belly button? So I'm going to see how this heals up.
I think it will change through, the weeks.
I know. I totally, even my son was like, what happened? He goes, well, you have like a little dot, kind of. He was trying to make me feel better. I was like, Danny, I don't have a belly button anymore. And he goes, well, you kind of have like a little dot still.
Just draw one in.
Right.
Get a tattoo. You like tattoos. No. You can make your belly button look however you want.
Right. So I'm thinking, like, if I can pierce it maybe on that little flap of skin, maybe it'll look like I have a belly button.
I think we talked about this. You ever had your belly button done before?
I have not.
Okay, I did. Yeah.
And now I don't have one, so I missed that.
You could have had it taken it out anyways. They don't let those kind of things in for surgery.
No, they don't. The first time I had a body piercing, I had a knee surgery, and they were like, do you have any piercings? I need pliers. The nurse's
they kind of look at you like,
what? I was like, I need pliers.
A whole bunch.
Right. So, yeah.
That's so funny.
I was like, everybody needs to leave for a minute.
Well, I'm sure everybody's wondering where your piercings are now.
It was my nipple. It's not a big deal. But, like with your dad there, it's not really something you want to announce.
Yeah, right.
He didn't need to know that.
Dad?
Right. We're about to get a little closer.
No, I don't know. I don't get anything like that, but I had the belly button done. And, and then I lost it.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, well, it was fine. Honestly, it was fine until I changed the jewelry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so went from hoop to more of a barbell,
Yeah.
and I just think, the thickness of the shaft, like the shaft
Yeah.
thickness and like the um anyway.
No, I went through that with my ear because I thought I got the same gauge and didn't.
Yes. And so I also think like because I am so involved in fitness, like doing sit-ups
Right.
and stuff, I
And
think
sweat.
yes, I think some of that like irritated it. So I tried like maintaining this new piece of jewelry, even though it
Right.
didn't feel good. And until I went out one night
Yeah.
and I had fishnets.
Mm.
Fishnets are, yeah.
Right.
So I think it just grabbed a hold of the jewelry
Yep.
and
And
gone.
ta-da!
My skin open.
Wow.
Yeah. I never found that jewelry.
That is so crazy.
I know. So then I'm like, oh, like my belly button ripped open. I'm like
Did
freaking
it
out.
bleed a lot?
Huh?
Did
No,
it bleed?
nothing.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it just like it had been wearing the skin
Right. Right.
because it shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
My body obviously was trying to get rid of it.
Right.
So, of course, then I'm like, I need to fix this like now.
Yeah.
Like, before I go out
This
tonight.
is a problem.
So I went to a piercing place that night and kind of, I was like, oh yeah, he was telling me I always seen that before, obviously, and they fixed things like that before.
Yeah.
And I was always going to redo it, but I just never did.
Yeah.
It looks normal now. I swear.
You have a belly button.
Yeah.
You're fine.
It has a little star around it. But it's fine. It's functional.
Right. It looks like a belly button.
It does what it's supposed to do.
Right. Well, that's my first hernia was like the center of my belly button was going out and it was kind of to the left.
Okay.
And then the other one, like the second one, was to the right, but it got to be about the size of a golf ball before I went to the doctor. I was like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
So, yeah. And then it got to where I couldn't, because I could push it in and it would stay in. But then it wouldn't stay in anymore.
Like a toy. Like,
yeah. And it would like make this like squishing sound.
I was going to say like a Pillsbury.
Oh, yeah. I was showing my friend, I was like, watch this. And I would push it in and she'd put her hand on it and it would push back out.
Kind of funny.
She's like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You need to get that fixed.
What's wrong with your belly?
Right. And then like just before I had this surgery, like on the same spot, I started getting a little lump where I no longer have a belly button. And I was like, this is not right, and it kind of felt like it was pulling. So yeah. I went to the doctor because I pushed on it and it went in. So I knew then it was no good. So yeah.
I mean, at least you got it fixed. So that's
yeah. And I didn't wait this time. I just fixed it.
You knew better. Make sure you follow directions.
Well, I thought it was the same one because it's really close. And the doctor did it first too. And he said, no, this is a different one. It's like at the edge of where that first piece of mesh was. So, yeah.
So any restrictions other than just your wear and tear, like as far as like recovery, I should say? No,
just 20 pounds for, a total of 6 weeks.
Then you'll
that's
be
it.
fine.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, that's
good.
Go. Don't do it again. Don't.
I know. Well, the doctor said if you get another one, it would be like unbelievable because the whole area is covered in mesh now. So he said it couldn't go through it. Like potentially you could get something around the edge of the mesh, like where the staples are, because that's like interrupting your muscle fibers. But like in that same spot, it wouldn't be able to come through there. So we'll see.
Well, take care of yourself.
Right. Follow the rules.
You did it again. I don't want you to be like one freak accident, like
Oh my gosh, it was,
for fourth time.
that was the worst surgery. I would do 100 C-sections before I would ever do that surgery again. That was the worst.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
On Friday, I had surgery on Thursday, and on Friday, when they told me they weren't going to let me go, I started crying because it was Halloween.
Oh,
I didn't get to see my kids. I couldn't even talk to them, like nothing. And they were like, your health. And I was like, no.
Well, this is important.
I've got to go.
Candy to get.
They, like, my nephew had not started his job, so he happened to have time that he could stay with them. And my friend, like, happened to have time that she could stay with me at the hospital. But because my mom was with my dad, he couldn't be alone. So, yeah, it was like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was having all this pain a week later, and I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. They're not going to keep me. I'm not going back.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're okay, though, really. And I'm glad your mom is, too. So I'm glad you guys can walk at the mall together.
Right. With our pre-workout.
Yes. If you do give your dad a pre-workout, I want that on video. Let's see. I want to hear how fast he talks.
Yeah. They had something in his paperwork, like he's limited to, I think it's 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh God, they drink decaf. Oh. I forgot. No, because they drink like a pot of coffee in the morning, and then I was like, oh yeah. Never mind. No issue. Because he does. He sits with his coffee and he reads the newspaper every morning. So.
Yeah, well, I have been adding that cup of coffee to my morning, but mostly it also helps me feel full.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just, extra fluid.
Yeah.
Just goes a little bit. So, and it's warm, so it makes you feel like.
Yeah. Warm fluids too. Yeah.
And then been getting just like different flavors, like blueberry and all kinds of wild stuff. So
I mix like a mocha with a hazelnut and make my coffee that way. It's really yummy. And then throw some protein in. Yeah. So it's nice and creamy.
Yep. No creamer. Are you drinking creamer?
Right. Well, that's what I use in my egg whites. I use the cream in my egg whites.
Oh. I'm not going to try that one. It will not be in my next recipe book. By the way, I don't have even one. So
that's like some people you mention it to and they're like, ooh. And then some people you mention it to and they're like, oh. But it's not like a, it's like either a yes or a no.
Same with cayenne pepper. Although I have not found many people besides you that have said, oh, yeah. Most people just think I'm nuts. And
I told you, we are not like the other girls.
Yeah. And guess what? I am kind of a little nuts. I enjoy my workouts. And,
it's not a punishment for doing bad stuff to my body. It's because I like it.
Yeah. And, as far as like people ask, like, I don't know if they ask you like sometimes, like, what are you training for? Like, are you training for anything specific? No, I train because I really do. I really like to work out that much. And I think when you like to work out that much, you don't need to do it for any kind of competition. And it's really, for me, it's always been just about doing it for myself. So if you can like learn to love to work out as much as us crazy girls do, I think you've won. It doesn't matter,
The more that I can do with my body and the more that I realize what I'm capable of, the stronger it makes me like facing everyday life challenges, like mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. And the gym is such a stress reliever.
Oh yeah.
I had a client come over today, in fact, that was all stressed out and she was giggling. And
you just leave it here. Yeah.
And honestly, like I brought up something that happened during her day that she was so upset about like, oh, I don't know, like 45 minutes into the workout. She's like, I forgot all about that.
Right.
And I'm like, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's awesome because that means she's in the
That's
zone.
the point. Yep.
Yeah. And I have this other client that I'm working with that, I like to tease about because I know her so well, but she is not in her zone. She is over here.
Yeah.
Over there.
Right.
And I'm just like, do not notice anything else around you. And, as far as like her asking me if I'm noticing those things, I don't, because I'm with my clients, I'm with them.
Right.
Like, I honestly don't recognize too much that's going on the outside. Of course, I'm going to see things that should be seen, this, that, but like, as far as what they're doing, I don't care what they're doing for their workout. I'm not about checking out their form and stuff like that. I'm here because I want to help you. And I don't see anybody else.
Yep.
So that's really what I want my clients to develop too, is that they can get into the zone and not learn to hear or see anybody else.
Yeah.
I had a girl the other day come up to me after my workout. And of course, at this point now I can like function, like see other people.
Don't.
And, so I just
the pre-workout had worn off.
I had just done my Stairmaster, my intervals, but I had done weights prior. And so I got done, and this girl, she comes over and she says, did you think I looked all lost or something like that? Like, she knows me and we're friends. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I'm sorry, and because she was kind of laughing because she apparently felt lost during her workout. She had to call her boyfriend or her husband. I was like, oh, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I said, I didn't even see you. Like, I mean, I saw you, but I didn't see you. Like, like, you must think I'm just whatever. But I'm like, she's like, oh, no. She was totally nice about it. But I'm like, I don't even see what's going on around me. So, for people that are going into the gym and feel uncomfortable, like people are touching you,
nobody's paying attention.
No, there you go. So I obviously am not paying attention, but
right.
And I think that the majority of the people that are in the gym that are serious about it are not paying attention. So who cares what everybody else is doing, and just pay attention to yourself and really get into your workout and become one with it, because that's when you're going to see real results.
That's sometimes like just focusing and counting out those last reps is just like everything else just goes.
Yeah. And, as far as like that goes, I do have a tendency to count other people's reps.
Yeah. You just get into that pace.
So as far as like not noticing everybody, well, I tend to notice people, and I think I'm training everybody, I guess.
Right.
I'm walking by with a client, for example, and I'm like, come on, I'm always like 20 feet ahead of my clients. And I just see a guy benching or whatever, and I'm like, four more.
Right. You got it.
Yeah. I'm not with you. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Four more. And the other day I was waiting for my client to come out of the locker room, and this guy that I don't know, he comes up behind me and he goes, I got trainer on the back of my shirt. And he goes, you looking for somebody to train? I said, sure. I said, give me 10 push-ups.
I'm in.
Slide. I was joking, I get everybody to do push-ups. So this random person that I don't know comes up to me, asks me if I'm looking for somebody to train. I said, sure. And of course he does it. He does 10 push-ups. He gets up and he goes, you should have been a drill sergeant. He's like, are you sure you weren't? I'm like, I should have been.
Right. We're just getting started.
Like, if the client wasn't here, you're going to give me another 10.
Right.
This is so much fun. I love what I do for a job. I love motivating people, and I love getting people excited about fitness, because that's pretty cool.
I love getting the messages like, oh, I lifted more on this, or like I lost 10 pounds, or, whatever. That's awesome.
Wins,
sometimes I'm more excited than they are. So.
I get very excited too. I'm always like, have fun.
Right. I was sitting in the nurse's office waiting to come back to work, like sitting there, waiting for them to check me in. And a girl comes in and steps on the scale and makes a face. And I was like, oh, is it the same? And she said, no, but it's only down like a half a pound. I was like, girlfriend, high five. And she just looks at me like, what? I was like, dude.
You win. Could have been half up.
Right.
about to cry.
Right. She was like all sad. And I'm like, dude.
Like, listen, I'm a trainer. You win.
Right.
You're half up or down. I mean.
You just won right now.
Lottery. You took a gamble in the first place getting on the scale.
Right, right. The fact that you're concerned with it is good.
Now go give me a mile around the track.
Right.
Call me in the morning.
We actually have at my work an indoor walking trail.
That's awesome.
So like they have, and it goes like through some of the cubicles and stuff. We have 2 buildings like across the street from each other. So it goes like over the bridge and around the building and stuff. And there's like little signs, walking trail, da, da, da.
That's awesome. Well, good. Well, my friend, it's been very awesome talking with you.
Yeah. CJ
time.
missed it.
Okay. Next time we'll get CJ on, and hopefully maybe in the near future we'll have a couple guests on here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but as always, if you guys know anybody that's inspirational, or maybe it's yourself, write us, email us, let us know, and we'd love to have you
on Facebook, we're on Body Space, we're on Instagram.
Yep.
We're kind of everywhere.
We're kind of cool.
Yeah. We're pretty awesome like that.
Seriously, we'd like to have you on our show if you got something fun to share. And I know there's a lot of people out there with inspirational stories, and
yeah.
A story that will motivate somebody else, maybe going through something similar, you know, or it could be something completely different, but it does inspire people to be able to see. And, you know, if you've made a really huge transformation too, you want to send us your pictures, we'll share it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll do like before after shots with you. Yeah. So spread the love.